Good morning, students of class 5. Students, I'm sure all of you are happy and healthy. Students, please take out your English notebook and your Wordsworth English Reader book. Turn your book to page number 87 as I'll be continuing with lesson 9, the priceless slippers. Students, please take out your Wordsworth English Reader book and your English notebooks and turn your book to page number 87 as I'll be continuing with lesson 9, the priceless slippers. Students, in my last video, I had started with exercise B and I had written and explained the first three question and answers of exercise B, that is, answer the following questions. And now today, first of all, I'm going to read the lesson once again for you so that you'll be able to understand the question and answers easily. So students, please listen to me as I read this lesson and then I'll be continuing with the rest of the question and answers. So turn your book to page number 87 and please pay attention so that you can also pronounce the words correctly. Lesson 9, the priceless slippers. In a little village, there lived a poor man who was so tired of being poor that his sole aim in life was to become rich and have a lot of money. In his desperation, he had tried many means of making money, but he didn't get any satisfactory results. Then one day, someone told him of a great Sufi saint, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, who lived in Delhi. The poor man was told that the saint was a very kind man with extremely wealthy followers. Surely he will give me enough money to start a new business and then I will be a rich man, thought the villager to himself. The very next day, he set off for Delhi, where the Sufi saint stayed. He had to walk all the way as he could not afford to travel on a horseback. Tired and hungry, the poor man arrived at the home of the saint at last. The Sufi greeted him kindly and one of his followers guided him to where he could wash himself and brought him food to eat. After taking some rest, the villagers told the Sufi the purpose of his visit. Why is it so important for you to have money? The Sufi asked. The villager recounted his woes. I don't have enough money to even eat or clothe myself. If I have a lot of money, I will never have to worry about these things. I will be happy. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you want. You will never be hungry here and will always be decently attired, the Sufi assured him. But the villager was adamant. He wanted money. For him, that was the only solution to all his problems. He wanted to continue living in his village, start a business and live in a comfortable house. The Sufi asked him, why did you come to me? I am not a rich man, but there are many rich men in Delhi from whom you may go and ask for money. The man said that he had thought of that but knew from experience that the rich were never eager to part with their wealth. I had heard that you never turn your back on anyone, so I came to you. The Sufi slowly nodded his head but said nothing. He remained busy the rest of the day. There were prayers to be said, visitors to be met, and students to be taught. He continued his normal routine. The villager waited patiently for the Sufi to summon him and give him money or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. 2 days passed and he was getting impatient. On the third morning, he realized that his trip to Delhi was not going to bear fruit and it was time for him to leave for his village. He had been taken care of very well. He had not been hungry, nor had he slept so comfortably in a long time. But money was not given to him. Feeling disappointed, he went to say farewell to the Sufi. Are you leaving? But I can't let you go empty-handed. The villagers' hopes were raised. The Sufi took off his worn-out slippers and gave them to the villagers, saying, "You have a long and dusty journey ahead of you. These slippers may be useful. I only own what I wear, so I give you these with my blessings." The villager was shocked but did not show his surprise as he respected the saint and did not want to insult him. The world talks of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, but in reality, he is as poor as me, thought the villager to himself. He then left Delhi with the pair of slippers in his bundle. He was afraid that the people of his village would laugh at him when they would see or hear of the gift that the saint had given him. As the villager was walking in the hot sun, he saw a great cloud of dust coming towards him. As he watched, he saw a magnificent horse galloping towards him. An equally magnificent rider was seated on the horse. The horse and the horseman drew nearer and stopped in front of the villager. The striking horseman got off the horse and pointing to the bundle said, "You lucky man, are you coming from the great saint with a priceless gift?" The poor man stammered that it was indeed a gift that the saint had given him, but it was far from priceless. He wondered aloud how the stranger knew that the villager had been to meet the saint. "I recognize the sweet fragrance of my lord from the bundle that you carry." He introduced himself as Amir Khusro. The villager showed him the pair of slippers, and to his surprise, Amir Khusro picked them up reverently and held them to his head. "Be kind and give me these slippers for a bag of gold that I have earned for 6 months of work for the emperor. You can also have my horse and my robes." The villager was astounded, but he readily agreed to part with the slippers for the unequal amount. Both men were delighted with their exchange. Each thought that he had gained the greatest treasure. Amir Khusro left for Delhi and the poor villager returned a rich man. Never again in his life did he have to worry about his food or clothing, and he lived happily. Needless to say, he became a devout follower of the Sufi whose humility he could never forget. Later, the poor villager came to know that Amir Khusro was a great musician and poet as well as the most famous disciple of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. He wrote in Persian, Arabic and Hindi. He is considered to be the inventor of the tabla and the Hindi language. He was buried near the tomb of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. So students, this was the reading of the lesson. Now I am going to revise the first 3 question and answers which we had done in the last video. So please listen to me carefully. Question 1. What was the poor villager's aim in life? Answer. The poor villager's sole aim in life was to become rich and have a lot of money. Answer 1. The poor villager's sole aim in life was to become rich and have a lot of money. Question 2. Why did he decide to travel to Delhi? Answer 2. He decided to travel to Delhi because he thought that the kind Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, who lived in Delhi, would give him enough money to start a business and then he would be a rich man. Answer 2. He decided to travel to Delhi because he thought that the kind Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, who lived in Delhi, would give him enough money to start a business and then he would be a rich man. Question 3. What did the Sufi tell him on hearing his demand for money? Answer 3. On hearing his demand for money, the Sufi saint told him that he was not a rich man, but there were many rich men in Delhi where the villager may go and ask for money. Answer 3. On hearing his demand for money, the Sufi saint told him that he was not a rich man, but there were many rich men in Delhi where the villager may go and ask for money. And now students, I'm going to write the fourth question and the answer. Now question number 4. How was he treated at the Sufi's house? Now, question number 4 is, how was he treated at the Sufi's house? बेटा जब विलेजर सूफी के घर गया तो वहां उसको कैसे ट्रीट किया? This we need to write. So, as we have read in the lesson, children, that the villager had been taken care of very well. है ना? He was given food to eat and he was given nice comfortable bed on which he had slept comfortably, which he had not slept till the time he had come to the Sufi's place. He was so comfortable that उससे पहले कभी भी वो उतने आराम से नहीं सोया था जितने आराम से वो सूफी के घर में जो उसको बेड मिला था उस पे वो इतने कंफर्टेबली सोया था. He was given good food to eat. Now, answer for this. He had been taken care of very well at the Sufi's house. Now, the first line of the answer is, he had been taken care of very well at the Sufi's house. इसका मतलब सूफी के हाउस में उसका बहुत अच्छे से ख्याल रखा गया. And remember children, Sufi's S will be capital. He had not been hungry he had been not been hungry, nor had he slept so comfortably in a long time, but money was not given to him. Now, the fourth question is, how was he treated at the Sufi's house? Now, the first line is, of the answer is, he had been taken care of very well at the Sufi's house. He had not been hungry. बेटा जो विलेजर था वो तो बहुत पुअर था, है ना, उसके पास खाने को नहीं था और उससे पहले मे भी वो बहुत बार भूखा रहा होगा, पर सूफी के घर में वो कभी भी भूखा नहीं रहा. दैट मीन्स फूड वॉज गिवन टू हिम रेगुलरली. नॉर हैड ही स्लेप्ट सो कंफर्टेबली इन अ लॉन्ग टाइम. और उससे पहले वो इतने आराम से कभी भी नहीं सोया था. But the only thing was money was not given to him. वो सूफी के पास पैसे लेने आया था. So that with that money he could start a business and then he could have lot of money and live the rest of his life comfortably. तो उसको खाने को दिया गया, उसका बहुत ख्याल रखा गया, है ना, और बहुत आराम से वो सोया, जिससे पहले कि वो कभी भी इतने आराम से नहीं सोया था. But he was not given money. So again I am reading question 4 and answer, then I'll be erasing it. So please write fast. Question 4. How was he treated at the Sufi's house? Answer 4. He had been taken care of very well at the Sufi's house. He had not been hungry, nor had he slept so comfortably in a long time, but money was not given to him. Again I am repeating this answer. He had been taken care of very well at the Sufi's house. He had not been hungry, nor had he slept so comfortably in a long time, but money was not given to him. So, I hope all of you have written answer 4th. Now, I am going to erase this and write the 5th question. And children, please remember to draw a parting line using a scale and pencil after each answer. Now, question number 5. Why did the villager decide to leave the Sufi's house? Now, why did the villager decide to leave the Sufi's house? बेटा, villager ने सूफी का हाउस क्यों छोड़ने को डिसाइड किया, है ना. 2 days had passed and he had been waiting patiently for the Sufi to call him and give him money or ask one of his wealthy followers or friend to give some money to the villager. But the Sufi was busy with his routine. So the villager, he thought to himself that now his trip to Delhi was not going to bear any fruit. So he decided to go back to his village. Now, the answer. बेटा पूरा डिस्क्राइब करना होगा कि that 2 days had passed and the villager had been waiting patiently for the Sufi to call him. Now, answer 5. 2 days the villager waited patiently for the Sufi to give him money or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. On the third day, he realized that his trip to Delhi would not bear fruit. And it was time for him to leave for his village. Now students, answer 5th. 2 days the villager waited patiently for the Sufi to give him money or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. On the 3rd day, he realized that his trip to Delhi would not bear fruit and it was time for him to leave for his village. Fine. Again, I'm reading the question and the answer. Please write fast, children. Question 5. Why did the villager decide to leave the Sufi's house? Answer. 2 days the villager waited patiently for the Sufi to give him money or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. On the 3rd day, he realized that his trip to Delhi would not bear fruit and it was time for him to leave for his village. Write fast, children. Once again, I'll be reading and then I'll be erasing it and writing the 6th question. Question 5. Why did the villager decide to leave the Sufi's house? Answer. 2 days the villager waited patiently. Patiently. Please write the spelling of patiently correctly. Patiently. Patiently for the Sufi to give him money or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. On the 3rd day, he realized that his trip to Delhi would not bear fruit and it was time for him to leave for his village. I hope all of you have written, children. Now I am going to erase this and write the 6th question. Question number 6. What gift did the Sufi give the villager as he was leaving? Now, question 6 is, what gift did the Sufi give the villager as he was living? बेटा जब विलेजर सूफी के यहाँ से फेयरवेल सूफी को करके गुड बाय बोल के was going back to his village, what did the Sufi gave him as a gift with his blessings? जब विलेजर जा रहा था तो सूफी ने विलेजर को क्या दिया? The Sufi, he took out his worn out slippers and what did he tell the villager? He told the villager that he owns only what he wears. So he took out his worn out slippers and gave them to the villager with his blessing, saying that the villager had to cover a long and dusty journey ahead. So these slippers would be useful for him. So now the answer is answer 6th is as the villager was leaving, the Sufi took off his worn out slippers. अपनी पहनी हुई slippers. And gave it to him. As the villager was leaving, the Sufi took off his worn-out slippers and gave it to him as a gift. Fine. So, now answer 6 is, as the villager was leaving, the Sufi took off his worn-out slippers and gave it to him as a gift. As a gift and with his blessings, isn't it? So, question 6. What gift did the Sufi give the villager as he was leaving? Answer 6. As the villager was leaving, the Sufi took off, off, his worn-out slippers and gave it to him as a gift. So students, again I am repeating question 6 and the answer. What gift did the Sufi give the villager as he was leaving? The answer is, as the villager was leaving, the Sufi took off his worn-out slippers and gave it to him as a gift. I hope students, all of you have written this answer. Please ensure that you draw a parting line with a scale and a pencil after each answer. That's all for today, students. I'll be continuing the remaining question and answers in my next video. But please do revise the top 6 question and answers and read the lesson. Thank you, students. Have a good day ahead.